Because I think what I'm trying to ask is that, so the case challenge process made you interested in consulting. But I think that there are a lot of people who, once having decided that, okay, I want to do consulting, the next question is, okay, now which firm? So how do you decide amongst the different firms? First of all, is there even a difference, or are they all pretty much the same? And if they're not the same, how do you choose one firm over the other?
Right. There are other firms out there for sure. For me personally, after I did the case challenge, I started getting interested in consulting and I started recruiting in consulting, and that's when I started to get to know other companies. Deloitte, BCG, McKinsey, Bain, etc. What I realized through that process is finding a consulting firm that you would be happy working at is almost the same as you trying to apply to different schools, right? Whether it is MBA or undergrad, you visit the schools. You try to talk to people who are actually in the school to get a sense of what the culture is like, how are the people over there, whatever it is. So I think it's the same process. You have to find a firm that actually matches with your personality in terms of what you're looking for in a firm. It's pretty different. You can easily distinguish the different firms.
Oh, really?
I would highly encourage you to go out there and kind of talk to different people who are actually working there, or even alumni, network, get to know them from across the strata. So people who are analysts, associates, or managers, partners, talk to them, get a sense of, is this the person that I would be happy spending time with at 2 in the morning when you have to finish a pitch deck, for example.
So you actually spent a lot of time in school talking to people from different firms.
Yeah, during recruiting season, I'll go to all events that they organize. So this includes coffee chats, networking events at schools. I think that they have career fairs. You go there and talk to people, get their business cards, email them thank you notes. And these days it's much easier because you have LinkedIn. Try to email people that you want to talk to. Give them a call. I think a lot of people are open to talking and sharing their experience. At least when I was an undergrad, I was a little bit shy about approaching strangers. But this is part of the thing that you have to go through in order for you to really assess whether or not this is the company that you would like to work with.
And I realize that we are probably jumping the gun that we're talking about recruiting before we even talk about the job. But I think this is an important point. What are the kind of, because you're saying that it's important to sort of assess the personality fit with the company, right? How do you do that? What kind of questions can help you figure that out?
So I typically like to start off by asking their experience at the firm. And you can typically tell if they really enjoy what they do or are they miserable. So I remember talking to an A.T. Kearney partner, for instance, about his experience at the firm. He was a partner at that time. He was telling me about this crazy experience up in the North Pole or somewhere where he has to go through 10 layers of security to get into the diamond mining place in order for him to get a sense on how the supply chain of diamonds is being structured or run. So I find it fascinating because when he was talking about it, he wasn't just offering me the detail. You can see that his eyes light up, and he was talking about it with so much passion and energy. So that is something that struck me as, hey, there's a very big difference about people who kind of just talk about the process and the projects that they're going through versus people who are actually really interested and almost invested in what they do. Right. I can also I also talked to another partner who shared his personal quirk on how he brought consulting outside of work, where everything he sees is an opportunity to be improved, like the lines at Chipotle or the taxis' way of running their costs, etc. All these things that he said get on the nerves of his wife. But these are the things that showcase how passionate someone is about their job, and for me that really makes a difference between one firm versus another in terms of the people.
No, that's great, because that is a question I think that bothers a lot of people, that how do I decide between firms. So apart from just the fit with people, is there anything else that people should be considering?
I would say people, it ranks at the top, whether or not you can work well with this person. The other thing you should consider is whether or not you would want your experience to be in a larger firm or a smaller firm. This is important because as a consultant, unless you go in with a very specific and concrete objective of going into energy, for example, or going into retail, you would want to experience the full consulting experience. So if you want to experience transportation, logistics, you want to experience what it's like to work on a tourism project or a government project, these various array of projects came about more easily in a smaller firm, in my personal opinion, because the connection is more fuzzy. Like, you can talk to partners who are in transportation as easily as you can talk to a partner who specializes in retail, for example. So there are more opportunity for you to move. There's more fluidity moving from one project to the other if you're a generalist and would like to experience working in different industries.
I see. Okay, this is a great point. So what you're saying is that when you join a firm, usually you can either be a generalist, which from what you're describing sounds like you can work on a project in any industry, or you could be specializing in certain areas. And in a smaller firm, it's probably easier to work on projects across different industries and topics.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Exactly.